Welcome to the June 14th, 2023 City of Springfield License Commission meeting. I am calling this meeting to order at 5:31 p.m. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for our Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. Did all commissioners have an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any corrections?
No.
No. Okay. Then I make a motion to approve the minutes of the Springfield Board of License Commissioners hearing held on Wednesday, May 24th, 2023.
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, next will be petitions, new petitions.
Can I ask if there's anybody in the Zoom session from 99 Restaurant? No. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Hi, sorry.
Tyler. Okay.
Okay, we're going to, what we're going to do is we're going to move a petition number 5 up to the first, just so that they don't have to wait a very long time.
Oh,
Um,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
This is
Okay.
a very short thing, right? This has already been.
Yeah,
approved by the
absolutely.
LCC. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so the new petition is a petition for a change of officer, directors, LLC managers for 99 Restaurant of Boston LLC, DBA 99 Restaurant located at 1371 Liberty Street, Corey Bergeron, manager of record.
Yes, good evening. Again, my name is Tyler Hensler from Upton, Connell, and Devlin, representing 99 Restaurants of Boston LLC. They operate the 99 Restaurant and Pub located at 1371 Liberty Street in Springfield, Mass. We're here for a change of LLC managers. The change applied for is as follows. The following 3 individuals have left the company: Wendy Harkness, Charles Noyes, and Kurt Schnaubelt. They are being therefore removed as LLC managers. And Clint Lautenschläger, Marjorie Nesmura, Philip Purcell, Mark Spurgeon, and Cara Jacobs are being added as new LLC managers. The important thing is nothing should change from the perspective of the people of Springfield. This is just an LLC manager change, not a manager of record change. This is merely something that ABCC makes us file when there's promotions and moving people move around at the corporate level. But again, nothing should change. I should note that this was submitted via an inverted process. Where we submitted 60 applications to the ABCC in towns where there's a 99 in every town. We submitted one to every one of those. The ABCC looked at these applications, approved, and then issued a letter of approval to us. We then sent this letter to the towns with our application. So if you don't have that, please let me know. I'm happy to forward. But the ABCC has already seen this and approved. But with that, I thank you for your time.
So
Thank
the
you.
local boards are just ratifying the ABCC's approval.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? In an instance like this where we're changing people at the corporate level, the ABCC approves it and then sends it to the local boards wherever a licensee exists for that restaurant chain, and then we just ratify their decision.
Okay,
So I would make a motion to approve the petition for change of LLC members for 99 Restaurants of Boston LLC, DBA 99 Restaurant located at 1371 Liberty Street, Corey Bergeron, manager of record. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Have a good night,
Have a
everybody.
good evening.
All right.
Good night. Okay, next item is a petition for a change of manager for Smaya Restaurant Inc., DBA Malecon Restaurant, located at 137 Chestnut Street, from Genesis Pujol to Lucinda Lopez as manager of record.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, Genesis, how are you?
Good.
Good. I see that Lucinda's here as well.
Hi, how are
Okay.
you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks for asking.
Okay, if everyone remembers, we had asked Genesis to find someone else that could be manager of record for Malecon. And I believe Lucinda, she spoke to you. Looks like you're it. Okay, Lucinda, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the experience that you have as a manager of record for a liquor license?
Absolutely. So I'm Lucinda Lopez. I'm 32 years old, or 31, going on 32, sorry. Forget my age.
I don't want to get too
So
ahead of yourself.
I work for the Department of Children and Families, so I'm very familiar dealing with people from easygoing to hardgoing. I've been in the industry of working with customer service for a very long time, 10 plus years. Former manager in a bank as well. I've been at the Malecon for about 6 months, 4, 5, 6 months, working. I used to be former client, and I've been there able to help them out a little bit. And I've been getting familiar with everything, from the licensing to from anyone that we have to stop serving to anyone that's a great customer. So we've been doing great so far, and we just want to continue that.
Okay, are you a bartender, Lucinda?
Yes, and server.
You are, okay, and are you tip certified?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Lucinda, you said that you work for DCF or used to work? For
Yes, I
You
work
work-
for DCF. Yes.
Okay, so how many hours do you plan on being at Malecon?
So right now we're doing only Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, about 27 hours from open to close. We'll be opening from 3 to midnight.
Okay, and you plan on being there all 27 hours?
Yes,
From
ma'am.
open to close on those 3
Yes,
days?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, what are those hours again for Friday?
From 3 p.m. to midnight.
To midnight, okay, all 3 days,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, okay. And you said you live here in Springfield,
I live in Chicopee.
Chicopee? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
No. Lucinda, do you realize that that being manager of record is a big responsibility, and that anything that happens within, these 27 hours are your responsibility, and you're the one that would have to answer to any incidents that happen during the time that you're open?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you do accept that responsibility?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
You know that there's been some issues there, Lucinda, right? In the
Yes.
past, and we're
In the
looking,
past.
we're looking for you to be a strong manager and make sure that nothing happens again.
Absolutely.
Okay,
With that being said, I make a motion to approve the petition for a change of manager for Samaya Restaurant Inc., DBA Malecon Restaurant, located at 137 Chestnut Street, from Genesis Pujol to Lucinda Lopez, manager of record.
second,
Commissioner Cade? Commissioner Cade? Did we lose him?
You're on mute.
I'm sorry?
he's muted.
Oh,
It's muted.
you're muted. We can't hear you. Andrew, we can't.
Yes, I know. I couldn't get back.
Commissioner.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes,
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Good luck, Lucinda, and good luck,
Well,
Genesis.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Next item is a petition for a transfer of license from SBLR Inc. to Cupra LLC DBA McCarthy's Tavern located at 807 Cottage Street, Pratic. The car manager of record, sorry. Is there anybody for McCarthy's Tavern here?
Yes, hi, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Mr. Thakar, if you can hear me, please put on your camera. I'll just start while he's doing that. This is a transfer of license to a Mr. Pratik Thakar, who does have experience in the restaurant industry. Most recently, he was a restaurant manager at a place called Curry On Restaurant in Jersey City, New Jersey. He has, and after that, he was the bar manager. He started as a bartender and went on to become a bar manager. And they also serve food there, and became manager of the food service aspect as well. This is a McCarthy's Tavern. It's not a particularly big place there. They're going to start off with 3 employees. He will be the manager of record as well. He's going through the tip certification program, and the other 2 employees working with him will also be tip certified. It'll be a condition of employment. The type of food they're going to, I'm speaking with him today. I didn't really understand it until he kind of explained to me, gave me some websites to put on. So like he's going to put on Indian food, and the type of, it's really egg based. And I didn't really quite grasp that when he told me what it is. So I can point you to 2 different websites that have similar restaurants, and one of them is a chain that has it throughout the country that better describe it than I probably can. One is eggmania.com and one is theeggholic, HOLIC.com. And they have very good reviews. It's Indian food that is egg based, and it's very popular. And the second one, which is a chain, has places up and down the East Coast, really. And the other place is one of the bigger places in Atlanta and has a lot of great reviews. So that's the type of restaurant they're going to put on. I think the focus is going to be on Indian food, which is his specialty, his intent. They certainly, you can come in there and sit at the bar and drink, but their intent is to make it an Indian food place to go. It's his only job. He lives in Springfield. He'll only have this job. He'll be there literally every minute that they're open for the first while, then probably see how is it going to go. Start with a small footprint of 3 employees until he can work up and hire another one if necessary, which is what his hope is. His hope is to start off with actually doing breakfast as well, and stop serving probably in the 10, 11 o'clock range, depending on where business ends up. His hope is to be a food service oriented place that you can stop in the morning for eggs. When I say eggs, it's not the kind that perhaps that I am used to having, but when you put on those websites, you'll see what I mean. And have food throughout the day. He does have experience in the industry, and everyone that he has will be tip certified. It'll be his only job. I don't see him on. He's texting me that he's on, but I don't see him on. I apologize for that. In terms of the financial transaction, the family, his cousin is actually buying the property. The owner that currently owns the property owns the bar and the property, and the owner of the property is going to put down about $100,000, and the rest will be held as a mortgage note held by the current owner. The bar itself is only transferring for about 20 grand. They haven't really been open much since COVID hit, so there's not much there. This place is really starting from the ground up, just starting over right from scratch.
Okay.
Is there a pledge, Dan?
There isn't. They didn't ask for one. There's going to be a mortgage on the property, and the license itself is only transferring for $20,000, but there'll be a okay. Well, he says he can see me and hear me. That's great. So it'll only be the mortgage itself will be on the property itself, because only $20,000 is for the license. So that's going to be paid upfront in cash at the time of the closing, once it gets through your approval and the ABCC.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are the hours again, Attorney Kelly?
They're hoping to be open in the morning around 9 and probably close around 11 o'clock. We're asking for all the hours to be open, all the normal statutory hours, but in the end, that's what they'll probably be open for.
So looking to be open until midnight.
Yes.
Okay.
So 9 to midnight, is that what you're asking for?
For now, yes.
9 to midnight. That's an ambitious schedule.
For 3 people.
Yes, I agree. You know, they're gonna do as business dictates. He's tells me those are the similarities he took when he worked at the Indian restaurant in Jersey City.
Okay. Is he on right now?
He
Is he-
is.
Is he Zoom user or iPad? We only have. Oh, Zoom user's gone.
I think I just call him.
Okay.
Sorry.
Zoom user should be back. If you could unmute yourself, is that him, Dan? Attorney Kelly, is this the Zoom user?
Perhaps. I don't.
You
The
see
car. There he is. iPad.
iPad is him. Okay.
Okay. Can he,
Unmute.
iPad, oh, okay. Can you unmute yourself?
The car. Unmute yourself, Mr. Thakar.
Hello.
Oh, he's Zoom user. There you
Oh,
Okay.
so it's Zoom
But-
user. Oh,
So
okay.
he's a Zoom user.
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I want to Zoom.
It's like Hollywood Squares.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mr. Thakar, did you hear everything that I said?
Yeah, I can hear and I see you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Did I get your hours right, Mr. Thakar?
What?
Did I get the hours correct?
Yeah, ours is correct because of the food we have together. That's why.
Okay.
So your hours are going to be 9 a.m. to midnight.
10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 to 10.
10 to
At night.
10.
Yeah, 10 to 10.
All right.
I would just ask to 11. I don't think you fully grasp that, you know,
Yep.
you have to have all the alcohol like unseen after they're done eating. So if you could have a little grace period after.
Yeah,
that.
1 hour maybe later, but not early.
10 to midnight, 10 to 11,
That'd be
Yeah,
fine.
10 to midnight is fine, but 11 is good, not too
10
late.
to 11. All right.
Okay, so we can say 10 a.m. to midnight, but he can close prior to that anytime.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. And we did hear from Attorney Kelly about your experience as a manager of record and
Yeah,
your
carry on.
experience in the restaurant. Okay.
Yeah, curry on bar and restaurant.
Okay. And where do you live, sir?
I live in Springfield.
In Springfield?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you here permanently?
Yeah, I permanently moved.
Okay. So Attorney Kelly did say that you're not tip certified yet. You're working on it?
No, not yet, but I will start on next week.
Okay. And the other 2 servers that you're gonna have, is it 3 altogether? Is it 4?
Oh, yeah, we go 3 up together to start.
3. Okay. And are they tip certified yet?
Yes, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
No,
So
not
all
yet.
3 of you are working
Yeah,
on
we
tip
all
certification.
go to start. Yes.
Okay, okay. You do understand that it's very important that everyone is tip certified.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, are all 3 of you gonna be serving alcohol?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so it's very important that everyone is tip certified. When you have the tip certification,
Then we start.
you have to make sure that, you know, you have it readily available at the at the restaurant. Okay,
Okay.
any questions from
No. Thank
the
you.
commissioners?
Is the DBA, is the DBA staying McCarthy's Tavern?
For right now, yes, I've asked that question. That's what I was told, but we may come back and a change.
Okay. I wouldn't expect to find egg-based Indian food at McCarthy's Tavern. So
Right.
that might be the first thing to change. Have you filed a business certificate with the city clerk?
Believe they have, but I'll check with my office.
Okay,
Okay,
it's quite a
Any-
change from McCarthy's Tavern.
Yes.
right. Any other questions from commissioners?
No,
No. Okay, then I make a motion to approve the petition for a transfer of license from SBLC, I mean, sorry, SBLR Inc. to Krupra LLC DBA McCarthy's Tavern located at 807 Cottage Street. Patrick Takar, manager of record,
Hours from 10 to midnight.
with the hours from 10 to midnight.
Second,
Second. Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay,
How
Good
soon is
luck.
this gonna be open?
Thank
I'm
you.
When are you gonna open?
We're gonna open maybe after 4 or 5 weeks.
4 or 5 weeks? Okay,
Yes.
great. See you
Thank
then.
you.
good luck.
Good
See
luck.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is a petition for a transfer of license from Sac Trang Vietnamese Restaurant LLC to Foss ST Inc. located at 113 Vermont Street, Lakeem H. Fond, manager of record. Who is here for Sac Trang?
Myself.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Good. So this is a transfer of license.
Yeah, from my mom to myself. She recently sold the business to me on March because she just wants to retire. But ever since she sold over, I'm just trying to transition all the certificate under my name. Serve Safe, everything is under my name. It's just the liquor license is the more major one that I'm aiming for. But all the paperwork has been giving me a stall back because everything when I print out her certificate of good standing and compliances is under her name as her full name as her entity. And now I've been dealing with DOR all day today, all day yesterday, and City Hall of Springfield. And they just want to make sure that it's for her name. Everything is compliant. It's just the name of Sok Trang LLC has her name on top of it. So that's what I'm trying to switch over. But everything I've printed out under my name and all the certificate has been done. So now I'm just asking to see if I could change it from my mother's name to my name, but everything stays the same. Nothing changes. She still works under me and everything else.
Okay. And so you're going to be the manager of record also?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So the owner
And-
and the manager.
Right. So, so what is your experience as a manager of record for a licensed establishment?
This is not experience, but this is my first time taking over records. I've been with my family for over 20 years, taking over South Trang, and my husband also owns another restaurant in Springfield. And right now, what I'm asking for is just for my family my mom and dad to retire, and that's from there. I'm just trying to take over the business just to continue it on. But responsibility and law with all the concerns that I know of, and I'm following and obeying by that, and I'm following with the cities and what they wanted me to do. So I'm up to date with all the city compliances so far.
And you are TIP certified?
I am in the process of changing all that. Right now, they told me not to do any of that because the name has not been changed. And they said you have to get everything in order and organized before you could do all that, and which makes no sense. But then I know I had the meeting today, so I wanted to ask everyone on the commissions what I should do and what I should do after this meeting.
I mean, I think TIP certification is not for the business, but you as an individual.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So I
why
could
they
get
would
that
tell
done.
you that.
I have no idea. I've been dealing with City Hall, going back, parking, going to do paperwork, the health department. They're like, no, you should do this, then that. I'm like, you know what? I need to know who to talk to. But right now I am talking and dealing with Ralph Sacramone from ABCC himself. And he's been really helpful. He's been letting me talk to the rep of DOR and DUA. So he's the only one that has been helping me trying to get everything where it needs to be.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Any
But
questions?
I could get that done for you.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely. It's very important, just like I mentioned to the previous person, it's very
Yes.
important that you and everyone who is a server to be
Yes.
TIP certified.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions from commissioners?
So are you having difficulty at City Hall? Or are you done at City? Hall?
Anna Huertas and City Hall has been very helpful. She just said, talk to Ralph, email them,
And right now, after I get the certificate saying that the entity with my mom's name and the South Trang Vietnamese LLC is the same company, then they will be okay with it. So I'm waiting on that letter to say that everything's under compliant with my mom's name, because when she created the business, every license was under her name with ST on top. So when I log onto her DOR, DOA, that's what it says. And when I try to change it to my name, they're like, no, because you have a different tax ID number versus her.
Right.
Yes.
So you're transferring it from one corporation to another.
Yeah, and with my name, yeah. Because
Right.
I just want to make sure that everything
Yeah.
is correct. I don't want anybody to say, hey, that's not your name, even though you changed the corp. I still want to keep South Trang Restaurant. That's the reason I changed it to as a DBA, doing business as ST, shortcut
Yeah.
as South Trang. Because they said
Okay.
you need to change the whole name, otherwise tax purposes
Yeah.
will aim back at me, and then I don't want that to occur.
Right. Okay. Have you visited the city clerk's office for a business certificate?
Yes, I have all that. I'm up to date with all that.
Okay. Sounds like you're on top of it.
I am, but I'm just nervous.
Okay, any other questions from the commissioners?
So the DBA is going to remain Soc Trang?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm done.
Okay. Then I make a motion to accept the petition, to approve the petition for a transfer of license from South Trang Vietnamese Restaurant LLC to Pho ST Inc. located at 113 Vermont Street. Lakim H. Pond, manager of record.
Second.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, good night.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
The next item is a petition for a new annual all alcohol license for Sushi LLC DBA Haya Sushi located at 1203 Parker Street. Regine Sao, manager of record. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, my name is Lu Jin Zhao. I live at 229 Rainbow Wood Drive, Springfield. I'm 37 years old. And
Rujing, you were the chef at Peacock Restaurant, is that correct?
yes,
Yes. I attended the planning board meeting, so I took crib notes on this. And they are going to reopen where Ginger Blossom was.
Okay.
Okay. And it's going to be a Japanese restaurant, correct?
yes, yes,
And it's going to be a service bar only, service to tables.
yes.
What are your hours going to be?
11 to 9 for Monday to Sunday. Yeah. Everything.
11 to 9 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is your experience as the manager of record for a liquor license?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can't help with?
Okay.
AI.
Rujing, you weren't a manager of record at Peacock, right? You were the chef. Have you ever been the manager of record on a liquor license before? No.
No. Okay. So you do understand that being the manager of record means that you're responsible for anything that happens in your location, in the restaurant.
Yes.
Okay. That if there is a problem, you have to call the police.
Okay.
If someone had too much, you don't have to serve them. And
Yes.
everyone that's going to serve would have to be tip certified.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do you accept that responsibility?
Yes.
You do. Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners?
Rujing, we have some very, very crafty college students in Springfield, and they're very near your restaurant. And when you go through, you haven't taken your tips training course yet, correct?
Oh, we already got that.
Oh, you have? All right, good for you. Look at that. So they taught you in that course not to very carefully examine an ID. And
okay.
if you are in doubt that that person is of age, it would be to your best interest to refuse them service rather than be caught serving minors. So be very, very careful with the IDs because they will come in and order, a scorpion bowl or some fancy drink and you'll get caught. It's happened many times. So be very wary of that. Okay.
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 Then I make a motion to approve the petition for a new annual all alcohol license for Sushi LLC DBA Haya Sushi located at 1203 Parker Street. Regine Shao, manager of record.
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes.
Now, this is a service bar only license and the hours are 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Correct.
Correct? Rujing, have you gone to the city clerk's office for a business certificate yet?
Yes.
You probably got that there. Do you have that too? Oh, okay.
Good.
You're all set.
All right, good luck.
Good luck.
Yep. Good luck.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is our pre-hearing conference. Number one, Los Muchachos Bar and Restaurant LLC, DBA Los Muchachos Bar and Restaurant located at 436 Boston Road, Suite B, Darlene D. Soriano, manager of record, incident for April 23rd, 2023. Failure to comply with conditions of a license. I did receive an email, I guess Attorney Riley is representing Los Muchachos Bar and he's requested extension, right? Are they gonna be ready for our next meeting? Do you know?
I believe they'll be ready for the next meeting. He just requested a continuance. I'm gonna ask that they be ready for our meeting
June
on the
20th.
28th.
28. Okay. Then I make a motion to continue Los Muchachos Bar and Restaurant LLC, DBA Los Muchachos Bar and Restaurant located at 436 Boston Road, Suite B, Darlene D. Soriano, manager of record, incident of 4/23/2023, failure to comply with conditions of a license to our next meeting, June 28th, 2023.
Second.
Is there Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay. Next item is Pretzel Pub Inc., DBA Del Rey Taqueria and Bar located at 211 Worthington Street, Jacinto Blanco, Munoz, manager of record. This is an incident from April 28th, 2023, failure to call the police.
Good afternoon, Neil Phillips for the owner, Jacinto Blanco.
Okay. Barry on, yes. Barry, can you tell us about the incident on April 28th? We can't hear you.
Yeah, I was unmuting myself, sorry, I had a little issue. You want the whole report or just the summary?
Just a summary is fine. I mean, we read, if it's okay with the commissioners.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just a summary.
There was a disturbance call there that officers responded to on April 28th.
I believe, right around midnight, just prior to midnight. They spoke with two female parties who had been patrons that had been physically removed from the establishment by a bouncer. We checked the CAD records. There were 4 calling parties that evening that called the police to report the disturbance and an injured patron. None of those 4 calls were made by an employee of Del Rey. Del Rey did provide video footage of the incident, which was downloaded to disk. It is available for review. It did show, not to minimize it, it did show physical contact between the bouncer and female patrons. And as I noted in my report, the rules and regulations don't specifically address the removal of patrons from a premise by an employee, but the rules and regs do require that they call to report a disturbance or an injured patron. In essence, that's a summary of what happened. They failed to call the police to report that there was a disturbance or that a patron had been injured.
Okay, thank you, Barry. Okay, Attorney Phillips?
Thank you. Thank you very much for that summary, officer, and I believe that's correct. The only thing that is probably not understood here was there was a patrolman right outside. So I believe the management thought that that patrolman would take care of it. And I think he was notified of the matter when when the parties exited the facility right out front. Could he verify for that fact for us now? Is that true, Mr. Officer?
I am not aware. I did review city camera footage that showed the front, and I did not see an officer there. I saw another patron outside smoking. I did not see any police officer outside in the immediate area at the time the females were removed.
I don't want to misstate the facts then. I don't want to be held to that. Could I ask Mr. Blanket to testify to that? Could he
Sure.
speak?
Yeah.
Is he here?
Yes, he should be on.
Yeah.
Is that-
Mr.
You're muted. Jacinto, you're muted.
Hello? He's still on mute, I believe.
Yes.
We can't hear you, Jacinto.
You've got to unmute your machine. No, you're muted. Can you unmute your machine?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, okay.
Could
Sorry.
you tell us what happened that night, sir?
Yes, that night I was next to the door when that happened, and we was a little busy. So a customer coming, and I run to the kitchen to see if the food was ready. So when the incident happened, when I tried to check what happened with all the group that was right there, somebody told to the manager. So the girl, she was punched in the face. And I say, well, that never happened. I checked the videos and nothing happened. So when I tried to call the police was already upside. I think some of the girls is relate with some of the police, because I hear a couple of people, they say, no, that's her cousin. So they're gonna close the restaurant right now because that punch in the face. I said that never happened. So I don't have a time to call the police at that time because I was already busy, check all the food on the kitchen. So that's why I never called the police.
But was there a patrolman outside, sir?
It was outside when I walked outside. When they told me there was the girl, she was bleeding. So I tried to go outside, and because she fell down when the way out to the between the two doors as a chair, and she fell down and scratched her face, and she was bleeding. And when the police was already outside. but I never called because I mean I don't never told her that's gonna go too far like that happened.
Thank you.
So,
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
that's what happened, Madam Commissioner.
Okay. Mr. Blanco, you do understand we tell everyone that, you know, whenever there is an incident that the police should be
Yes,
called.
yeah, I understand
You
that.
know,
Yeah, I
whether
understand.
there was a police officer there or not, unless you hired, you know, a police officer to be at the restaurant that day. I mean, if, you know, you have to call. It doesn't matter if there was somebody outside, because just like you're saying, you know, perhaps this was just a police officer that was driving by, but maybe he wasn't aware of what was going on. So it doesn't matter. It is your responsibility as manager of record to make that phone call. You know, I'd rather you make that phone call, even if 3 other people called, you know, but it shows that you as a manager of record did what you were supposed to do and you called the police.
Yes, I understand. But the thing what I say, I was so busy, so I checked the food, the kitchen was ready. When I tried to come in, I mean, to come out to see what happened outside, the police was already there. I don't know if they was close on the corner, or I don't know. I mean, because when the girl was bleeding, the police was already right there when I come back from the kitchen. So I don't know if somebody called before that, or there was around the corner.
Okay.
I mean,
so
but I know it's my responsibility, but I don't call because I mean I thought that okay, they're gonna leave, like everything is gonna be okay. But I mean, there was my mistake, like then don't call the police at that time. But I don't think it was gonna go too far, so that when they remove the girl outside.
So, you know, so let's say, yes, you were very busy, you went to the kitchen, this happened in the front, right? And by the time you came out and became aware of what was going on, the police was already there. But, you know, but you have to let your staff know that if there is an incident and you're not on the floor, it is also their responsibility to call.
Correct.
Someone should have called. If you weren't there, someone should have called, you know.
Okay.
It's so you have to, you know, I suggest you let your staff know if something like this happens. Don't wait for me to come back from the kitchen or to realize what's going on. If you see something is going on, I'd rather you call the police than have to come in front of the board again, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I accept the mistake because I was so busy and then things happen, but I know there's nothing I can do now. So that I know the next time I have to be aware to call the police, and any incident like small, I have to call.
Okay. And what happened to the bouncer?
Is he still employed by you?
No. He was removed at the same night. I have a company to hide. That's a very professional security guys. They work for many places right here in town, and I hired her after the incident because I mean they with all the insurance and abilities and everything, so I can. I mean they are more professional, more training to do everything more carefully with that.
Okay.
I have right here the contract with the company. So if you guys need a copy, I can send it with a security company.
What's the name of it, sir?
The company, it's I can see the name of the corporation. remember what's the name of the company. I have a lot of page right here.
Okay, while you're looking for that information.
Can I ask Barry a question? Barry, and I want to go ahead and ask it without getting permission. Barry, did the report show or did the camera show whether who initiated this altercation with the security person? Was the security person assaulted by this customer?
The angle of the camera,
Yeah.
it was hard to determine. If there was, it was I believe I believe it's even in my report, one of the females admitted that I forget her word, basically like took her arm, I think it was the sister, took her arm and like hit him like in the shoulder or chest. I forget, I think she used the word mushed. She's like, I mushed his shoulder. And it's, again, the camera angle, it kind of happens quick. If there is, but I think the reaction was maybe a little excessive. I mean, there's at that point there's no threat to any other staff or patron. So I mean, obviously it would be ideal in that situation if someone's not going to leave, call the police. I mean,
Right.
we wouldn't ask any employee to put themselves in a position where something like this happens that, you know, jeopardizes the license. We would prefer that they just call. And if that patron's just refusing to leave, when the police get there, they can handle it. And that's kind of what I would recommend. And I did, when I spoke to the manager, Mr. Blanco Munoz, I kind of explained that to him and told him, you know, if anything like that happens, call the police, and there's no need to remove him if there's not an immediate threat to his staff or to other patrons. Let the police handle it.
Right. So this customer, from what I recall, ended up in the street, basically, right, is what the complaint was. She was thrown out and into the street, I believe. And unless this security person was assaulted or this person was so out of control that the only thing that could be done was to immediately remove them from the bar, they shouldn't be touching patrons like that. If somebody's just simply belligerent, been overserved, doesn't want to leave, then calling the police is the preferred route rather than taking matters into their own hands and tossing them out into the street, basically, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
I agree
the employee's been terminated, and now there is a security firm that has been hired for security. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, the name is Full Core Pressure Entertainment. It's from they have the office in Chicopee. It's all those guys, they work, I think they are police, they still in service, and people they are from the academy from Chicopee, from the base. All those guys, they make the security company, so they provide service to many places right here in Springfield.
What was the name again?
It's a Full Court Pressure Entertainment.
Full court pressure.
Pressure Entertainment, yes. It's in 166 61 Bay Memorial Drive in Chicopee.
I don't think it matters what's the name of the security company. I mean, it's your responsibility. I think the bottom line basically is that you should have called the police. Maybe
Yes.
with more experienced security, they might be able to de-escalate the situation where you wouldn't have this where someone is being thrown in the street. But with more professional staff, maybe they would do that.
Yes, I think what happened is because the girl, she get here like 20 minutes before she get to the restaurant, and she was already intoxicated. So the bartender talked to the group, she's not gonna serve that anymore. So that's okay, but they asked for another round, but they give you the drink to the girl. So the security come to the girl and say, you're not allowed to drink anymore. So she took the glass from her hands, put on the bar, and she pushed the guy. And that's when the guy grabbed the girl and tried to take her out. So I have the videos, and the girl, she was like May 12th. She come back to the restaurant. I don't know who was it. So it was with her boyfriend. I talked to her. I apologized. I say, sorry. I mean, I know this guy was a little too tough to, but I mean, she come back here, and I mean, she was fine.
Great.
So she's been coming back, you're saying, to the restaurant?
Yes, I have the videos and everything. When I talked to her and apologized, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, you know, it was a tough night, but I mean, everything was okay. To say, no, don't worry. I mean, I like this place. I want to come back again. So, I mean, I'm here again. So it's not a problem.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners?
No.
Okay. Any suggestions from the commissioners?
There definitely was an issue there. And with an overzealous employee that could have resulted in harm to this patron. So I think we should find a violation, and I'm not sure if it rises to the level of a suspension, however. Well, I would suggest maybe a letter of warning about calling the police anytime that there is any hint of a disturbance. It's a suggestion.
Okay. Anyone else?
Well, I agree, basically, but just to let the owner know that, you know, how serious this is, that you have to call the police. I would rather burn the food in the kitchen than call the police. I think you let the food burn, you know, call the police first.
Make a sign that says that. Let the food burn, call the police.
Now,
Rather than come back in front of us.
Right, absolutely.
And it looks like he took some steps to correct behind another security firm to do his bouncing. He removed the individual that was working there from his establishment, from employment there, and which is good. The only problem that I have, and everyone knows my stance on lack of communication with the police officers, Mr. Munoz, you should have stepped outside. You see the police officer outside. You should have communicated with the police officer, and that police officer probably would have been able to tell you, no, I'm not here for your establishment. I'm here for something else. And where you should have then initiated a call.
I talked to the police. Yes, I talked to the police. Yeah, I talked to all the it was like 4, 6, and I talked to everybody and explained what happened. They took the report, and I mean, but after the incident, I mean, I talked to them and what happened is, hey, I have the videos, anything you guys needed, so I'm open to all the information.
Okay. Peter, you have a motion?
I would make a motion. I would make a motion that we find a violation of a failure to call the police to report a disturbance, and that a letter of warning be placed in the file for Delray Taqueria. Do I hear a second?
Is there a time period on that, Peter?
A time frame, Peter? Anything?
A year.
Okay.
Okay.
I second that.
Second. Okay, Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes.
Okay, so this is a pre-hearing conference, and therefore the licensee has to accept that penalty.
Okay. Jacinto, do you accept that penalty to have a letter of warning in your file for 1 year?
Yes.
Attorney Phillips, you have anything to add to that?
I just think maybe it's a stretch, and I don't want to disrupt the boat here, but I mean, this is his first violation for this. I know he runs a clean place. He's a busy place. The patron comes back after this incident. I would think that this is enough of a warning here without showing something in his file. We don't want to blemish this man. He's trying to do the right thing down there. He's a good, strong member of this community. He gives back. I mean, one mistake, he shouldn't have a piece of paper that could hurt him later on down the road. It's almost, I think it's overkill. I mean, I may not be your favorite friend after this, but I want to be an advocate for him. He shouldn't have the stain on his record. He's a decent individual. He runs a good, clean operation. I think some of you have patronized it and found it to be of that kind. And this person came back. And I just think it's overkill. He's cooperated with the police. The officer here has given an accurate rendition of what happened. I looked at the video, and frankly, that patron was very, very and unruly, in my opinion. And you could take that for what it is, but I want my piece said, and I want it on the record. And I think it's an overkill on the part of this commission.
Well, thank you. But as you know, we do take action on progressive discipline. And, that letter will be in his file for a year. And then pretty much it goes away. So it's just a matter of him following, the rules and making sure that if anything happens, that he calls the police. If he is calling the police, nothing is going to go against him. Nothing will be held against him.
Is there any way we could do 6 months? No. Okay.
I mean, just from my point of view, I think we've been pretty lenient. Because normally on the first offense, you get some form of suspension, and we didn't do that. So I think that's pretty good.
Right. So, it could have been, Attorney Phillips, it could have been a 5-day suspension, 2 served, 3 held for a year, so I think the letter of warning it's good. I think it's fair.
Thank you.
Okay. I think other commissioners agreed.
Yes.
You're in unison on that one. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, thank you, Jacinto.
Thank you.
Madam
Yes.
Chair, only issue was I think we asked the licensee whether he accepted. He did, and then his attorney spoke. I think we just need verification that they still are willing to accept it at the pre-hearing.
Yes.
Okay. So you are
Yeah.
willing to accept the letter of warning for a year?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Madam Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Right. Third item is Delicia's Restaurant and Catering Corporation, DBA Cons Food and Drink, located at 1333 Boston Road. Derek Crespo, manager of record. Incident of May 14, 2023. Failure to abide by City of Springfield noise ordinance. And number 2, offering outdoor entertainment without proper licensing. Mr. Crespo?
Hi, Commissioner. Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about yourselves?
Okay.
Good.
Barry, can you give us a summary on what happened on May 14th, 2023?
As you may know, May 14th is.
Mr. Crespo, we're going to let the police officer give us a summary of what happened on that day.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So around 1 p.m., an officer responded to 1333 Boston Road for an unnecessary noise complaint. The calling party indicated that the restaurant had a PA system on their patio. The caller also asked to speak to the officer. The officer was dispatched at 1:16 p.m. And he entered the following narrative in the call. The owner of the restaurant advised to turn down the PA system, stated it was the last comic and he would take care of it. The caller was advised as well. We checked CAD. There was one call. It was initiated at 12:06 p.m. As I stated, the officer cleared the call at 1:16, about an hour later. I later contacted the complainant who lives behind Cons. She's a known party from prior unnecessary noise complaints. She told me she could hear the PA from the patio of Cons. She's also aware that their patio does not allow for entertainment. She additionally told me that she called the restaurant and asked to speak to the manager, whoever's in charge. An employee told her that Derek was too busy to come to the phone. She asked the employee to take care of her, to move the entertainment inside, due to the fact that she had a house full of kids and elderly relatives at her home. I believe it was Mother's Day. And she was concerned about the subject matter that they could hear being discussed. She said the employee told her they would take care of it, but instead it got even louder. And then she then called the police around noontime. She added that it was never turned down until they finished the show. I spoke to the officer who confirmed he went there. There was a PA system on the patio and there was a comedy show ongoing. He spoke to Mr. Crespo, told him to lower the volume. And he also went and spoke to the complainant on Gerlis Drive. The officer at the time was not aware of the fact that they couldn't offer entertainment on the patio, but I did advise him in the event that he's dispatched there again. In addition, this same licensee was issued a cease and desist last year in the summer on July 8th, which specifically stated you were to cease and desist from hosting any outdoor entertainment at the establishment known as Delicious and Catering at 1333 Boston Road. A copy of that was attached to the report. And basically, those are the facts. As we know from before, the rules and regulations for noise, it means unreasonable noise is any noise audible at a distance of 100 feet. And in the case of an amplification device, such as a PA system, the words unreasonable noise mean any noise plainly audible at a distance of 50 feet. Both the calling party and the officer could hear the amplified device from her property, which is well over 100 feet away from Delicious or Cons, the new DBA. We recommended 2 violations: failure to abide by the noise ordinance and offering outdoor entertainment without proper licensing.
Okay, Derek, thank you. Derek, you can explain to us what happened on that day.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I take full responsibility for the noise on that day, but I would like to make some remarks on the officer's timetable, because he said the call was dispatched at 12:16, but the event, we had a Mother's Day event that day. It was a Mother's Day brunch. We decided to move it outside because it was a nice day out. It would be a nice treat to the mothers because it was Mother's Day. You wanna enjoy a brunch with your mom, having a good time. So it was a nice day out. We said, hey, we might be moving it outside. I did ask to keep everything down to the minimum so that it wouldn't bother any neighbors. I mean, we've been open for months and we haven't had any complaints. We've hosted events. We haven't had any complaints so far, except as for this one. The event lasted 1 hour and 15 minutes. It wasn't even, it didn't even take that long. Another thing of it was that when the resident came in, I was right in front of the phone, and I told the employee to let her know to hold on a minute because I had my hands full at the moment, and I would come to the phone. The event was almost at its end, and there was, I was like, oh, I'm gonna give her a call back. I'm gonna go back, which I did later that afternoon. I went back, addressed their concerns, and they didn't during the phone call, because I was right next to the employee. During the phone call, they didn't even address a noise issue. Their issue was with the language because they were doing some adult language. It wasn't dirty. It was just an adult one. So and we did, and as they said, when they did the complaint for the language, we toned the language down. Then about a couple of minutes after, an officer comes in, and he says that they're complaining about the language, and I was like, okay, they're complaining about the language. I mean, they already changed the language, and he was, no, they're also complaining about the noise, and that's when it was 10 minutes after that, it was turned off for good, and everything was packed and going.
But Derek, you do realize, I mean, it's great, it's wonderful that you were trying to do something nice for the mothers and bringing them outside because it was such a beautiful day. But you do understand that in order for you to do that, you have to have an entertainment license for the patio, which you don't have.
I did not. I mean,
Please.
I thought we were all set on that part, but if we
No,
didn't,
if
I
you
take
recall,
full responsibility.
I'm sorry, if you recall from the last time that we met, we made sure to tell you that you could not have any events outside, just quiet dinner. People could sit outside and eat dinner because you did not have an entertainment license for the patio.
Honestly, I did not recall that. I'm not gonna. Again, I take full responsibility. But I did not recall because again, we've been here so many times. So many stuff has been spoken. We had an issue. We fixed it. We have hosted numerous events over the months, and we didn't have an issue except for that one.
But they were inside, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So the
So-
problem was being outside. And
Yes.
honestly, Mr. Crespo, I don't know what you were thinking about when you allowed an adult comedy event to take place outside.
I didn't. Again, I didn't. It wasn't. I'm saying adults because they weren't. It's hard to explain. There was no sexuality, nothing that compromised kids. It was just the words that being used. I mean, words that we use in a common day. I mean, I know all of us may curse here, be it a then, and it wasn't cursing constantly. It was here and then during the conversation that there was a curse word, but it was nothing sexually, nothing dirty, nothing that would need to be PG. It wouldn't have to be 18-year plus is what I'm trying to say.
Did you have any small children?
No, I mean, there were small children eating inside the restaurant.
Inside the restaurant, which means that perhaps parents, people that attended your event, knew not to bring their small children to the event because they knew the type of language that would be used at a comedy show.
Honestly, that wasn't. I mean, I don't know, because again, I had to deal with the comedian, so I had to deal with the comedian, so we did a comedy show with Split of the Profits. I'm sorry about the interruption. With Split of the Profits, and it was it was a comedy show. I didn't know if they were gonna bring children or not, but the people that came in were mostly adults that they wanted to treat their mother, that were also around the age of any of the neighbors around here, and they wanted to treat them to have a good time.
I'm looking at the violation history here, and there was an incident last August 12th, which is the exact same incident that we're reviewing now. Failure to abide by City of Springfield noise ordinance and allowing outdoor entertainment in violation of the entertainment license. And you are currently serving a 5-day suspension held in abeyance for a year for that violation. That was last August.
Commissioner,
So recall that at all, that you don't have an outdoor entertainment license when
Commissioner,
last August.
I remember the August 12th violation, and we fought it because most of the accusations were not true, but we accepted and we went into, I mean, I accepted the suspension that was given. We were giving, it was a 30-day non-consecutive suspension. We accepted it in a deal to not keep on fighting that and not keep going back at the same issue.
No, this was after that. This was after that. This is August 12th.
And after that, I assured the commission, then if this was the last time we spoke, I assured the commission that I was gonna redo the concept of the place, change the name, get everything in order so that these issues wouldn't happen again. And which I did a month later. And we've been working towards, and we've been to numerous times to our neighbors' houses to make sure that everything is within their acceptance. We've developed great relationship with some of the neighbors. Some are our regular customers. They come in for a drink. Everything is going great. We only had this one issue.
All right, so but the point is, this violation, this same violation occurred last August, and you have a 5-day suspension held in abeyance. And now 9 months later, you're doing the same thing. You're offering entertainment outdoors, and it is amplified. This is the same violation from 9 months ago.
It
What
was
part of that do you not
amplified.
get?
It was amplified. I'm not gonna argue with that. It was amplified.
Okay,
I
so the
accept.
facts are,
But it was one small speaker, and we didn't. I mean, I know. Now I know, because again, I didn't recall having this information, but now I know it was one small speaker. It wasn't even loud enough. I mean,
the neighbors heard it. The neighbors
was-
heard it.
I understand,
All
which
right.
is why I said I take full responsibility.
So the facts are that you are you agreeing to the facts that you offered entertainment outdoors on the patio and that the entertainment was amplified?
Yes.
Okay.
And you do know that you don't have an entertainment license for the patio.
Now I'm aware, because I did not recall that from a last conversation topic.
Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners? Any suggestions?
Yes. This is the second violation in less than a year. The first violation was for 5 days held in abeyance. I suggest we have a 10-day violation to be served, plus the 5 days that are held in abeyance, for a total of 15 days. He's just not getting the message. And I don't know how else to get the message through.
I'm
This
sorry.
is absurd. Absurd. We're talking now. This is absurd that at this point, we're hearing the same violation we heard last August. I don't care if the speaker was small and there was only one. There was a family event going on in the neighborhood, and salty language was being amplified from this patio, and it was disturbing an event which ranged from children to grandparents, and that's unacceptable.
If I may, commissioners, I do remember Commissioner Signature being recused because of a personal involvement in the matter. So I would like you to take that into consideration. I'm not here.
That recusal is all over with the
but I understand that. But you're talking on the matter that you were asked to be recused.
No,
But
I
again,
am not. No, I am not.
here-
The August 12th violation, I was not recused from.
I am not here to fight or argue, because that's the last thing that I want to do, Commissioner. I just want a fair hearing.
And the neighbors want peace and quiet.
And yes, and which is why we develop a relationship. We've invited them over numerous times. I mean, I can even go to the neighbor's house right now, because I'm at the restaurant. I can go to the neighbor's house right now, and they could tell you themselves that I've been hearing and including them in every decision that we've been making.
Any other?
Chair Espinoza, but I'm not sure if a motion has been made, or if we're still in discussion.
I'll frame that in the form of a motion.
So that is a motion, Peter?
That's a motion.
Okay. Is there a second on Peter's motion? Are there any other motions?
No,
Question?
I second Peter's motion.
Okay. Commissioner Cade?
You calling for a vote?
We have a motion and we have
Yeah, yeah,
it was
okay.
second.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner D'Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. So Attorney Paul, would you like to explain to Mr. Crespo what this means to him?
Mr. Crispo, the commission has voted at the pre-hearing stage for a 10-day violation and the prior violation of 5 days to also be imposed for a total of 15 days as a appropriate punishment for these violations. You can either accept this this punishment, or you can move to the final hearing stage.
If I accept it, what is the terms of the violations? Are they consecutive or are they non-consecutive like last time?
I would say non-consecutive over weekends. There's no
Should
sense
we-
closing them down during the week when he's not there.
We're
Excuse me,
open. We're open 7 days a week, Commissioner Secretary.
Mhm.
So I mean, we're
Commissioner,
here.
Commissioner, should we include the time period in that motion?
We should.
We can.
Yes. Yep.
So we have to give Attorney Poe an opportunity to write the letter, should it be accepted. So what days are we looking? Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday?
Maybe Saturday, Sunday, starting next week to have.
If I may, before you decide on this, we, because of family reasons, we have also decided to. I have also decided to step down as director. I have not found somebody worthy yet to take the directorship of the corporation and the manager of record. So I would appreciate if your commission put the violation consecutively on the days.
I don't know what bearing that has on the penalty. You're still gonna keep your record.
The penalty is that we will be closed until we found a worthy successor. It might be 15 days, it might be a month to be the director of the corporation.
So you're asking for the 15 days consecutive?
Yes.
That's what you're asking for,
Yes,
but there's a
and I-
possibility that you will not open in 15 days.
It's not a possibility. After this meeting, I've decided to step down.
Step down, close the business, sell the business, what exactly? Find another manager of record? What do you mean?
Sell the business.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't be open until you sell the business, though.
But I'm not gonna open it. That's a promise.
Okay, so this is a little different now then, if I'm.
Are you turning your license into the License Commission office?
No, I'm keeping I'm selling the corporation.
Then no. I wouldn't agree to that. If you're turning your license in to the commission office until you transfer it so that you cannot open, that's one thing. If you're going to keep your license, then that's an entirely different thing. Because you can open. If you have
but I'm not. But again, I'm not gonna open. I'm giving you. I mean, if
We've heard
anything,
that before.
you can come in every day if you want for the 15 days. It's not gonna be open.
No.
And for the remainder, for a month, you can come back for a month until we sell the business. It's not gonna open.
Then why are you not willing to turn your license into the commission office until
Because honestly, then it would be a little bit harder to sell the business, because they're gonna ask me, why don't you have it's gonna complicate a transaction more.
No.
Yes, it would, Commissioner.
Okay, so so we agreed to the 15 days.
And I accepted. If it,
Consecutive 15 days. And this is a discussion with the commissioners. So if he chooses not to open on the 16th day and he doesn't open after that, then we can have him come back for section 77, correct?
Only if he's closed. If he reopens, then no, because then he's open again.
But he's saying that he's not gonna
Yeah,
open.
well, he's also told us he learned his lesson and changed the DBA, and this won't happen again, and here we are. So I'm afraid I don't believe anything he says.
Well, if he serves the 15 days,
Right.
it doesn't really matter if he opens up on the 16th day, that's his prerogative. But if he's gonna stay closed more than 30 or 60 days, that's when we probably should ask him to come back and see what he's doing with his license. It's his business if he wants to keep it open or closed, but after a long period of time, he needs to come in front of us and let us know what he's planning on doing with his license.
But you're taking his word that he's going to close.
Well, Peter, it doesn't really matter if he's closing after the 16th day, he's gonna serve this 15 days.
Right.
After he serves this 15 days, he can
15
do
consecutive days is less of a penalty though than weekend days. Right? We're trying to dole out a penalty here.
Well, do you want to change your motion to maybe 30 days suspension?
if you do that, I'm sorry, commissioners, I know it's your conversation, but if you do that, it's gonna be harder for me to sell. And I'm trying, and again, I do plan to sell, so I'm closing down the business, which means that if I close it down, I know you're taking me at my word. I get that, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna reopen. I'm selling the business.
So Derek, are you saying what you're not saying? Are you saying you already have someone? Are you,
I have
how soon do you,
potential suitors.
I'm sorry?
I have potential suitors. I have not found somebody that I mean, I'm trying to find the cleanest way to, to sell it. We've been pondering on the idea for weeks now. We've had potential suitors and we're looking at them.
Chair Espinoza, I don't know if him closing or staying open is really relevant to the issue of the penalty.
It's not.
The commission can set whatever penalty they want, and then whatever he does, that's
absolutely.
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so the question was, are we going to do the 15 days consecutive, or we're going to go ahead on weekends?
I think we should do weekends. Basically, that's my opinion. If he's trying to sell the business, even though he might be operational during the week, but that's very low business. So if he's trying to show the business, at least he would be open for that. But no major events on the weekend. I'm selling
the business not as a business, if not as an asset, turnkey restaurant. When I sell, it's not gonna be as a business. So either way, we're open 7 days a week, but we all know that best days are the weekends. So that's gonna, I can't sell as a business. The only way, I'm not gonna get much as a business like that. So I prefer just to sell as an asset.
You want me to modify the motion to include the days?
Yes.
Please,
I was going to say Attorney Cade. We are bound to make you. All right.
Yes, Barry. I'm gonna take your place, Maurice.
All right.
never too late.
I amend the motion to a 15-day suspension to be served June 24th and 25th, July 1st, 2nd, 8th, 9th, 15th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd, 29th, 30th, August 5th, August 6th, and August 12th.
If you do that, you're gonna kill every chance I have of selling the business before then.
You shouldn't have had entertainment on your patio. Is there a second?
there a second?
Yes, I second it.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Okay, Derek, you understood the days that you're going to be closed. So technically you can be open during the week, but you'll be closed Saturdays and Sundays from starting June 23rd to July 8th. What did you say, Peter?
August
I mean,
12th.
August
Do we
12th.
need a sign? I don't know if I can fit all these days on a sign.
Attorney Paul.
I think it's gonna be multiple signs. Before we get there, Mr. Crespo, based on the motion that was changed, again, you still have the right to request a final hearing
Right.
if you do not accept the commission's, if you do not accept the commission's vote.
I take that right to a final hearing. I mean, no disrespect to the commissioners. But that being said, I do feel that one of the commissions has something personal.
Well,
And I'm gonna retain the attorney to fight this in the final hearing.
Mr. Crespo, the issue here is, I'm understanding you saying you're not accepting the commission.
No, I'm not.
Move it to a final hearing. Thank you.
I make a motion to that we continue, that we move to a final hearing for Delicia's Restaurant and Catering Corporation.
That will be June 28th.
Attorney Poe, June 28th,
That's fine.
that's fine. So, and that would be June 28th, 2023.
Second.
Commissioner Cade,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes. Derek, so for the next 2 weeks, June 28th, you can come back for a final hearing. Mr. Crespo?
He's
Okay,
muted, but we'll send a letter out.
okay,
I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. I do understand. June 28th.
June 28th, final hearing. Okay. All right, thank you, good night.
Right.
Okay, we don't have any administrative review of incident reports. So with that being said, you can adjourn at 6:59 p.m.
We continued the BYOB to this meeting. Are we continuing that again?
I'd ask that it be continued again. I do have the information to modify section of the BYOB. It's ready to go within our packet already. I think I'm just gonna move some stuff around. I'll send out the draft. I'll send out the draft within the next week.
And we know how many, can we have a list of how many we have and who they are?
Yeah, I did. And for that, I will get that. And it'll.
Okay.
I'll get that.
Yep.
Barry, if I may, I did receive information that our friends on Worthington Street are once again having parties next to what was it, 16 something north?
Yeah.
Do you know? Do they have their common vic license back? I know. Remember, it was forged.
Right. So the last thing I heard, the owner of the building applied for and was issued a common vic. I haven't been made aware of any other issues there from any of the other tenants. But and there are different signs there now. I forget the name of it. there's actually a sign between the two. So before, you know, the empty spot where they were having those.
Hmm.
And I think that may be the location that's licensed. But we'd probably have to confirm that with the licensing department.
Is the
Okay,
question whether they have an entertainment license or not?
No, it's a common vic, I think, right?
I don't know. What did you hear that was going on, Rosa?
Well, they're back at having their parties at night. They're coming into 16, I can't remember the rest of the numbers.
North.
So they're coming in through there, the same thing, they access the side and they're having their, you know, parties there and there's alcohol being served.
Served or sold?
Are you certain?
Sold.
That's
Sold.
because Harry, we issued a cease and desist for, it's a Main Street address, 1635 Main.
No,
No,
16 something north is the name of the.
It's 1619 North.
1636 North is the one on Worthing.
Yes.
Right.
The one on Main Street was just, those are recording studios where they're doing after hours parties. That was on Main Street on the 4th floor of a commercial building there. That was last week. The cease and desist orders were issued there.
Okay, so 1636 North is on Worthington Street.
right.
And they were the people that forged the common vic license. So, you know, it's
Or the health department license.
right.
Correct.
So, I mean, I'm curious to know, so what did the landlord apply for? Is it to use that space? What was it? Was it 200 something Worthington Street? Right next to 16?
220 maybe.
Right, so.
I believe signs have that in their name, 222 something. I went by it last week and I noticed the new signs.
Okay, so Attorney Poe, any way we can find out, you know, what exactly is licensed and how is it licensed?
Chair Espinosa, I will do that. I will find out.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, guess we can adjourn at 7:03 p.m.
Second?
Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner D'Angelo Antonio,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa, yes.